500 mil and dig down the depth of your timber and sink it in so it's flush with ground level.
Right.
And then get your best topsoil, even a little bit of compost if you got it around. Put it on that top edge to make sure that the grass starts growing really.
This is where the water's running over the top you're talking about. Yeah. Because that's often where you'd be putting this is right in a sort of a head cut, moving up a valley floor.
And it's that I'm of the opinion here that where we've got soil soils, I'm even happy to put plastic in under that top row of
What,
logs.
black plastic?
Yeah, and it'll photodegrade over time. But if you stick a heap of gypsum in underneath there, it'll actually start to go to work on the soil structure. And by the time that's degraded, there'll be plenty of material in there and plants that'll already be going on top that can get their roots down into it.
If it's sodic, where's the plastic going? And underneath all the logs?
Above the sodic soil, so that the water that's sheeting over the surface will be on top of a waterproof membrane and actually...
Okay, yeah, right. Okay, so where the sodic soil is, covering it at that level with black plastic.
And even having it there as well as the geofabric.
Yeah. And throwing a bit of gypsum in there as well.
It's not expensive, and chucking a couple of bags out above it, I reckon is a pretty useful thing to do. Yeah. It's not something they have to worry about as much over in Mexico, apparently.
Yeah. No, that's right. They don't have the dispersive subsoils that we're dealing with here. That's one thing that's different. So these ones here, you said about 300. You've gone a bit more than that.
That looks,
yeah. So this is sort of roundabout where it is. You're probably aiming for about 300.
Yeah, about 300-400
at each step down.
400 mil each step.
So you intend covering all that with rock then, Cam? No, just as it is.
Just to get down to our top layer of logs that we have.
So this is a hybrid model, isn't it?
Yes.
And probably that area there is probably, if anything's vulnerable,
It is.
it?
That's why we're stacking this last bit of rock in against that edge.
So instead of calling it the Zerny bowl, I thought we probably called it the Cam step.
Yeah.
So here we've made sure that that's the low spot, that's where it's coming over, and a little bit might come this way, so if we stick a few more rocks in against that edge, it should be pretty secure.
That actually doesn't look like it's dispersive clay though, does it? It doesn't look as bad.
I've already filled a big hole in there and packed in other material.
So given a big fall of rain, what do you think, in your experience, would be worst case scenario that would happen here now?
Nothing.
Because
this is a small catchment, I haven't been as careful on this edge. If I knew there was a big flow coming here, I would make sure that these longest logs stacked up one on top of each other and created a barrier on either side.
Like this would only be, sort of like 20 acres or something like that.
Yeah.
Just going up here, there's another, and to the side of that tree, there's another system there.
And we were saying before that these are actually quite critical that's where the vegetation is now going to establish, because it's where the sediment will accumulate.
The one rock will
be nice and level, and it doesn't have to be rock. You can do that with if you're cutting 200 mm logs for the structure. Use all of the upper branches and tie them off with fencing wire. Create brush bundles and put them lengthways along the base of the slope, and that will accumulate sediment.
Lengthways, that's the same as these logs here. Yeah.
So, just
while I've got the foliage on them.
Yeah, it's fine. But get a bit of it, put a ratchet strap around it, and crank it up nice and tight so it's a tight bundle, and then tie it up with fencing wire and release your strap. And you've got these nice little bundles that you can just chuck in side by side, and they're pretty easy to then stick a bit of wire around and put a couple of pegs in and hold it in place. And then once there's a bit of sediment in there, it's protected from stock as the grasses can get established down below. It's where, once you get the vegetation established, that's where the sediment keeps accumulating backwards and the vegetation will march back.
If you've actually got branches like that, you turn them this way so the branches are facing down, or it doesn't matter?
Yeah, butts uphill is good, but you can also alternate the bundles.
to make them fit. Yeah.
And that's often what people have got more access to, because they've got the regrowth timber that could do with thinning anyway.
Yeah.
So finding ways to utilise that is a pretty good idea, I think.
Well, most of the reason these are really excavated is because of animal activity rather than water activity. You know, they come in looking for the minerals.
Yeah. Sheep air conditioning. They like to live in there in the summertime.
Yeah.
Well, Cam, thanks very much.